And let me just preface this with that I have picked my top 3 based on this entry only, because I think it should be that way before the finale. Otherwise, the others wouldn't have a chance if one contestant does like 2 good performances. So if we always take the body of work into consideration. So yeah, but that's just me. I'm not gonna tell you how to vote. Just vote like me and I'm gonna be happy.
I have to get rid of one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who I'm going to get rid of yet, though.
Have you been cheating again?
No, I haven't been cheating. I just don't know who I'm going to get rid of.
Yeah, but you should know that before the call.
Yeah, but I still don't. I do, but I don't. Because everyone pretty much has the same score.
Okay. Are you ready to play?
No, I guess. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
V. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to have to do it. I hate to do it, but I'm just gonna do it. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Really, guys? You voted out my second 10. Okay, to be fair, I was unsure about that 10 because it didn't give me the same emotional response as Mocha, but at the same time I thought that entry was basically perfect.
And I mean, I didn't want
My thing
to.
is that I don't want to give off the impression that the only entry that can ever give me a 10 is like a super emotional song that you like cry for. I still want to show that you can get a 10 with different styles. And I think her in this style was pretty much perfect to me.
See, no, I didn't want to. I mean, I don't have a choice because I could only have 3 going forward. And when I was looking at my list of who I had, when I had 4 left, I said at the same time, I absolutely love her voice. I adore her. I think she's got a beautiful voice. But this was, to me, a safe song, a typical song, a kind of like same song, not giving us any dynamic song, not giving us any variety. I had to make the cut, and that was the cut where I had to go.
Yeah, but how is it safe? Because she went super
so
high
similar,
on the last chorus.
It's so similar to so many of the other types of songs that she's done. I mean, she hasn't really... Hey, don't you dare!
Don't you dare vote her out.
Get over here. I swear to God, if you pee on this floor... My dog is like an hour overdue for a bathroom break.
I mean...
Okay, but...
I guess I can see your point in a way about versatility, but at the same time, the reason I didn't knock a point because of song choice is because it wasn't her complete choice. It was Mark's choice. So that's why I didn't drop a point for that.
She had other options. It wasn't just Mark. I mean, she had other choices that could have.
We can't have traps in the list. I mean, how are they supposed to know this song is a trap? Don't pick it.
It's not a trap. I mean, it's not a trap. I mean, she could have added some dynamics or some kind of...
There was dynamics, though.
To me, it sounded so one level. I don't know. It just didn't
If you listen to...
She could have picked a different song. I mean, she didn't have to pick that Angelina type song. She could have picked one of the other 2 songs. She could have picked from somebody else's list. She didn't have to pick from her list.
If you listen to the verses though, she has a softer voice in those, and then she goes up to those super high notes that Mocha did. So that was why I gave her a tight score, because I mean she showed me basically everything I'm looking for, even though it wasn't as emotional as Mocha's.
Well, where's Mark? I haven't heard his voice at all.
Yeah, I gotta... Okay,
and his score is higher than mine, so...
For one thing, Mark, can you defend your song choice here? Because if versatility was gonna be an issue, then why pick that song?
I think he's gone. He's
no, I'm still here.
Oh, there he is. Oh, okay.
My point for picking it is it's a twofold. So one, this was the kind of cover that very few people in this competition, this is going through the whole 110 people we've had through this thing, not just the top 7, could have pulled off. And like I say, there is a lot of Church's covers that I've listened to on YouTube, but they just don't get it. Like, they haven't got the voice for it. So that is a big reason for it. It was something that would suit her down to the ground that wouldn't suit a bunch of other people in the competition. So there's someone that is different from anyone else that we would have in the top 3 potentially. That's standing for some. Also, we needed to get Angelina away from this super crystal clear thing that she's got going on, which really showed up in the Carrie Underwood cover. She just didn't have that grit that was there that we wanted. We got it in this. We didn't get it in the low end where we expected it to be, but she's a very mid and top heavy voice. So if she hasn't got the low end necessarily. Why not put the grit in by pushing for something in the high note, getting a little bit of breakup out of it? To me, this is different to other stuff. To me, this is gonna stand out amongst some of the others, and then if we listen to the group cover, when she steps in and absolutely bails Carly out for the lack of energy, we're gonna see she's got power as well. So this, to me, sits in a nice spot for her in terms of what her overall body of work needs.
I actually agree with you, but then why do you vote her out?
Because I've got other spots to fill. Look, there's half a point in it between... I mean, she's tied with Nathan, so there is half a point in that. There is half a point in my third spot, so it's real fine margins. I think the issue that I would have in terms of Angelina over Mocha, who sits in my third place, a couple of issues really, is that one, I think Mocha's got more in her body of work in general, and two, I think she's generally got a better scoring from you guys in particular. I haven't been a huge Mocha fan throughout this. After this round, I am a lot more because she showed something that I didn't think she had. But in terms of a better prospect for the top three, I would also lean Mocha more than I would Angelina or Nathan on strength of body of work.
Yeah, I would definitely not argue to get Mocha out, so definitely agree with you there.
We could do a top four. And then we could put Angelina back on.
Well,
and then I could be happy.
I would love that, but then we are opening Pandora's box here because then what's to say we can't do that in a future round? I mean, and then someone gets.
I know.
I guess at this point all of us have used our stars, so it wouldn't be like someone gets a free star or anything. But
yeah.
That's a dangerous box to open.
I know.
I don't know.
No, I know. I know.
What does Mark think about that?
No, yeah, it's too tall. I think I was just joking because I think it's a hard decision. I mean, but people gotta go. It just hurts.
I'm not against the idea. I'm absolutely not against the idea. I think we need to work around it a little more in terms of other options for the top three, etc. Because at the moment we've got a 3 yes and a couple of 2 yeses. We've basically got a top 3 on our yes/no votes.
I saw it immediately.
So I guess I would like to go around the prospect of whether there would be any swaps, and then if we are still at a bit of a stalemate over swaps and we're still feeling confident about Angelina, then I'd be open to talking about it.
Let's go to the elephant in the room. So the one that I would be voting to swap here for Angelina would be Maeve, because I don't want a finalist that I'm consistently worrying about whether they are showing their real voice or not, because this is a singing competition and we need to hear the real voice. That has been a consistent theme throughout this competition. I guess it could be a me issue, but then I gotta ask, why should I trust your ears more than mine? That's basically my question at this point.
I don't think you necessarily have to trust our ear. I would be inclined to... My argument for it, over the last couple of rounds in particular, I feel like if you were to take the raw vocal that Maeve's given us, at least in the last 2 rounds, and then you would put it through some kind of pitch correct thing, I would say it's going to do stuff. One of my points of feedback, and one of the reasons why I deducted a point, is the growl effect that she was putting on with her voice, which sounded natural. It sounded like proper technique, but to me it was pulling her flat in a lot of places. So I feel like if she was going to tweak that and pull herself back up to pitch, then we probably wouldn't have noticed. But in terms of it being an unnatural correction, but for me, I noticed it was flat. So I personally don't have any doubts, at least on the last 2 rounds. I think the thing to trust from my end, just because this is something that I do for fun and I've had paid production gigs in the past and volunteered in the studio and that sort of thing, is in terms of what you can cover up and the like. I think it's a balance. I think you can cover stuff up. I think you can lose a lot as well. And with overproduction, I think you probably lose more than you gain. So I think that is something more to maybe just keep in the back of your mind when you're thinking about it, because I've been around and seen what it can do. But if you're hearing something which is unnaturally pulled up to where it is and it sounds like it's been artificially tweaked, then that's an instinct you should probably go with.
Okay, so you're telling of me, I basically... Okay, but I'm voted out anyway, so it doesn't really matter this round.
Yeah.
I was the only one who put a red.
Yeah, the point, I guess, to both of you is you're not necessarily going to get me on this because I'm thinking she's showing enough vocally, and with my knowledge of how auto-tune works, I don't think she's that far off enough that it's going to save her or not. But I know you guys were both particularly hot on this in the earlier rounds, especially in the
group
in the contentious one that I wasn't part of. Are we going to put her through to the final, and then when it comes down to it, you guys are both going to start digging in about production on the earlier stuff again and push her into pretty much set third place where there's nothing I can do about it? Because if that's going to come back around again, then potentially we would maybe want to nip that in the bud now and consider another option. Because I know in the round you sat out, Petri, Andrea was pushing towards Maeve coming out for being overproduced.
Yeah.
So if you guys are both kind of leaning on the fence of she's too overproduced, are you going to have that argument to drop her into third place in the final? Then should we maybe just rip the Band-Aid off now?
I mean, basically, the final song, though, is like 50% of the decision to me, so...
For me, I usually take... I go with the final song, and then I just kind of... I consider the body of work, like, overall, but, like, the final song is generally the main, because I consider, like, the growth from the previous work. I consider what they put into the final song. How did they grow from the entire competition? How did they take our criticisms overall from the competition? So I don't necessarily take, like, everything. Like, if she, let's say she really overproduces the final song, and I am like, wow, she did not listen to a single thing that we have said, then yeah, she would be third place, in my opinion, because she's literally not listening to anything that we say. She's not taking criticism. She's just doing her own thing, and she's just not, like, you know, well, then maybe that would be a different situation. But if she's listening to what we're trying to say, she's putting out a really awesome production, she's giving us what we're looking for, and then she gives us a top of the line quality song, I'm not going to hold what she did in, like, the first two rounds against her on the level where I'm just going to be biased against her. That's not how I roll. I don't roll like that.
Yeah, same, actually.
Okay, so that's maybe arguing towards she should keep that place then. I guess my question would be, though, if you're looking at those early two rounds compared to what we've got the last couple, have we seen that, have the points that you guys have made about the production side of things been heeded for you guys?
No, me personally, before Petri goes in, the last round, I do think that it was heated. Me personally, I do think she did pull back, and there were some issues there where I think that she relied so heavily on, like, the auto-tune to help correct them that I think she could have gone back herself and corrected a few of those issues herself, and I think she just maybe kind of forgot about it or glossed over it because she's so used to the auto-tune kind of covering it up for her. But she did take that into consideration. She fought tooth and nail for against it. I mean, she argued the hell out of being able to do it, but she did take that into consideration. And once again, she argued the point about auto-tune being God's gift to singers, and, you know, not wanting to go against, she wants auto-tune as if it's her life, her lung, like she can't breathe without auto-tune. But I see it sneaking back in there, but I could tell she was trying to resist the urge in this song. But I mean, it's like, I swear to God, it is like her life force, and she feels like she's going to die without it. It's like a vampire who needs blood. She's like the vampire that needs auto-tune. And it's a little concerning. I mean, it's a little concerning that someone with that much talent is that desperate for auto-tune. And that's what concerns me.
We only need one vampire in this competition, Mocha.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the only thing that concerns me, is someone with so much freaking talent who's so reliant on auto-tune. She doesn't need it that heavily. I think she's having withdrawal symptoms. It's like she's going through withdrawal right now, but I do think that she's trying.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, last round was basically it for me. I mean, I actually gave her a 10 last round because, I mean, she basically gave me everything I was looking for. She did pull back on the production. Obviously, there was still some production in there, like a lot of reverb suburb and stuff, but I did hear that she did take our feedback on board there. And it was also a very unique performance. And she is a very unique artist, and part of me feels like she should be in the finale for that.
Yeah.
But then I have to lose Angelina, and I just can't concede a 10. I just can't. So unless you are willing to concede on Angelina to get her in, then I'm gonna have to concede about Maeve.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And anyone want to fight for Emma coming out? I mean, this is another one you can't move me on. Like, the only 10 I've given in Net's top singer history and my top performance in this round. You're not going to get me easily on this one, but it is majority vote.
Yeah.
She's the new Heather for you. She has turned your opinion around in this season.
Yeah, I don't think there's much arguing there, so I'm not going to argue.
No, I wouldn't argue to get her out. I was choosing between Emma and Maeve, actually, because I think Emma had some flaws in her performance, whereas I didn't really hear any singing flaws in Maeve's. I mean, except that it was a repetitive song. But I really want to hear Emma in the finale because of that thick voice and that unique nasality in her voice and everything. So that wouldn't be a swap I could do for Angelina, because I gave Angelina, wait a minute, Emma for Angelina. Yeah, I gave Angelina a higher score than Emma. So yeah, but I want Emma in too. I don't know. And I mean, I would be going against a 2 versus 1. Yeah, I think this is a hard voting to crack. I mean, if we are going to change anything, because just looking at the sheet right now, it's pretty clear cut already.
I think the big problem you'd have is that Emma's probably got, I know it's a small part of the scoring for you guys in particular, but for me, I think Emma's probably got the strongest body of work out of Angelina and Mocha. I think going over the scoring, we might see the same thing. So in terms of earning a spot in the final across the course of the competition, she's probably put herself right up there. So tough one.
Yeah.
So I guess... go for it.
Yeah, like I said, though, I voted strictly on this performance. I don't really vote on body of work before the final. So yeah, I didn't take that into consideration.
No, fair enough. And same, my scoring is based purely on this round, but it's something that when we get into the final, I'm sure I've done this in previous seasons, it's kind of factored into my discussion.
You did last season. I remember.
When it picked the top that. Okay, fair enough. So the only choice we've got then is if we push through a 4th into the final.
A top 4.
But then what does that mean for future seasons? Is that gonna keep happening then? Because we have to limit the number of contestants at some point. And especially for the final, we have to judge whole bodies of work in the final. So that's gonna be like 6 more entries to judge.
Yeah, that would be an extra person.
Yeah, but at the same time, it may be worth it. And I mean, she was a 10 to me, so I really want to see her in the final, but I don't know.
How about this? Flip a coin and let fate decide.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, I'm not gonna let the coin flip decide things in this competition. Come on.
Tails, she gets in. Oh, it's heads. No!
And you don't trust my random.org anyway, so. By the way, in the final, I want to vote last on the winner because I have never done that, so just calling deeps right now. Yeah, but anyway, my only question, because I would definitely want to have her into the final. My only question at this point is, how can we make sure this doesn't happen again? Or frequently, at least. What is the new standard for? Because we are basically going against the schedule, and that is a slippery slope.
Pinky swear?
I guess if we think about how many seasons we've done this and how many rounds were in those seasons, I mean, essentially we've got the top 4 that we're looking at here separated by half a point. We've got someone's 10 out of 10 potentially going out, and I mean, let me see. For Andrea, she's got the same score, but had to go because someone had to go. She's half a point out for me.
Yeah.
It's...
Okay, guys, I have an idea.
Okay.
Can we make a rule that we can only do this if everyone has used their stars? Otherwise, one gets a free star. So can that be the measuring point here?
I think that would be fair.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
And it seems so rare that this has ever come up.
It does. I mean, I think because if we have to make, if this is like a sudden rule after all these seasons and we all of a sudden have to make this a rule, how many times is this going to happen? I mean, if this is the first time it's happened.
Yeah, that's true. It's not going to happen again. I don't think so. So like I said, only if everyone have used their stars we can do this, and we have, so I don't see why we can't.
And it really should only be reserved for if the scoring is this close. Where it is, where we really have to, where there's, I mean, when you have 2 10s like this and where my score is like literally the same, it's, you almost have to at this point. It would just be a sin to not.
Okay, then I am,
we know what I'm like. I will quite happily chop singers left, right and centre. It doesn't bother me. So it's like...
Then we can call this done, because then I am completely satisfied with this.
All right, good. I'm good. Okay, who wants to
and
do the outro then?
And we didn't need to argue top performance, because all of us had different top performances. So I think the top score should then be the deciding factor, I think.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay, then we have our decision. Awesome.
Okay, so after an unprecedented result in the voting, a first time ever for Next Top Singer and YouTube Idol history, we have our top 3-ish ready to go into the final. And it was very challenging, but also very easy in a way. It's odd how that works out, but it feels like the right thing has been done. And now all we've got to do is to try and pick a winner out of these 4. Fun times for us.
Yeah.
God help us.
The last time we had 4 in the finale was 2019. So
pray for us.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, this is exciting. Can't wait.
All right.